90 million installs in a single week. And the AI coding world will never be the same. OpenAI's Codex just shattered every adoption record on the books, driven by the rollout of GPT 5.5, and the shockwave is being felt across every corner of the software development industry. This is not a slow, gradual shift. This is a detonation. Here's everything you need to know. To understand why this moment matters, you first need to understand what Codex actually is. OpenAI Codex is an AI-powered coding assistant built on top of OpenAI's language models, designed to help developers write, debug, and optimize code faster than ever before. It can understand natural language prompts and translate them directly into functional code across dozens of programming languages. For years, tools like this existed in early, limited forms. But the arrival of GPT 5.5 has fundamentally changed the capability ceiling. The numbers are staggering. In a single week following the GPT 5.5 rollout, Codex installs surged to 90 million. That is not a monthly figure. That is not a quarterly milestone. That is 1 week. To put that in perspective, most enterprise software tools take years to reach that kind of penetration. The speed of this adoption signals something much larger than a typical product launch. It suggests developers around the world were ready and waiting for exactly this level of capability. So what changed with GPT 5.5 that caused such an explosive response? The rollout of GPT 5.5 appears to have pushed Codex past a critical threshold, the point at which AI-assisted coding stops feeling like a helpful suggestion tool and starts feeling like a genuine collaborative partner. Developers are not just using it to auto-complete lines of code. They are using it to architect systems, refactor entire code bases, and handle logic that previously required hours of focused human effort. The efficiency gains being reported are not marginal, they are transformative. But this rapid adoption also brings a shadow side that experts are already beginning to examine. When 90 million installs happen in a single week, questions about security dynamics become urgent. AI-generated code, however sophisticated, can introduce subtle vulnerabilities that are difficult to detect through standard review processes. If developers are moving faster than ever and relying more heavily on AI-generated output, the attack surface for potential security flaws expands in proportion. The shift in efficiency dynamics is real, but so is the shift in risk dynamics. Industry observers are pointing to this moment as a turning point not just for individual developers, but for the entire structure of the software industry. When a tool reaches 90 million installs in a week, it stops being optional. It becomes infrastructure. Companies that delay adoption risk falling behind competitors who are shipping faster, debugging faster, and iterating faster. This creates a compounding advantage. The earlier a team integrates Codex into its workflow, the greater the lead it builds over time. The broader societal implications are also significant. AI-assisted coding at this scale changes who can build software. Developers with less experience can now produce output that previously required years of training. That democratization of capability is genuinely exciting, but it also raises questions about code quality standards, accountability, and how the industry will need to evolve its review and testing practices to keep pace. As you watch this story develop, there are several key things to track. First, how will OpenAI continue to iterate on Codex now that adoption is at this scale? And what new capabilities will follow? Second, how will the security community respond to the challenge of reviewing AI-generated code at volume? And third, will competitors accelerate their own AI coding tools in response to this milestone? What happened this week is not just a product story. It is the opening chapter of a fundamental restructuring of how software gets built. Codex reaching 90 million installs in 7 days is the signal that AI-assisted development has crossed from early adopter territory into mainstream reality. The question now is not whether AI will reshape coding. It already has. The question is how fast everything else catches up. If you want to stay ahead of every development in AI and tech as it happens, subscribe to Nuruz. We cover it all, every single day.